All right. Welcome to OG Roz and the Butterfly. I am OG Roz. If you're new here, like, share, and subscribe, and set up your notification so you don't miss an upload. I will be covering the Keefe trial. This is a preview. So I'm going to be getting my content, of course, from Fox, different news channels, and just putting everything together. Everything that I say on here is alleged. Okay, I am not personally involved in this trial as far as being in Las Vegas, in the courtroom or anything like that. The same information that I share is the same information that you can find for yourself if you look for it. But for those who have busy lives and don't have time, then I will be here trying to make everything easier by doing the research. Also, I have started today on audio listening to the Keefe book, Compton Street Legend. So although I cannot read the book on here for copyright reasons, I can kind of give you a summary of what the book is saying. All right. But I have some updates for you. All right. Once again, I thank you for coming to my channel. Make sure you check out other content that I have available as well, because I do more than talk about celebrity updates. I talk about the Lord. I talk about the book of Proverbs. I talk about transformation and spiritual growth as well. So this is just something that was just on my heart to cover, especially because it's going to be on a lot of people's minds. So, and we've been waiting for this trial for, I think, over 30 years, if I'm correct. So this is the information that came out so far as of June 30th. Yeah, as of today, actually. So this is from Fox 5 Vegas. Las Vegas judge has denied a motion to sequester jury, suppress evidence in Tupac murder case. So the trial remains set for August the 10th. as judge rules Dwayne Davis' book and police interview statements are admissible. A Las Vegas judge denied 2 motions from Dwayne Keefe. Davis attorneys on Tuesday, hold on. A Las Vegas judge denied 2 motions from Dwayne Keefe D. Davis's attorneys on Tuesday, ruling his tell-all book will be admitted as evidence and rejecting a request for full jury sequestration in the upcoming murder trial connected to the 1996 death of rapper Tupac Shakur. So they were trying to, so if you've been following this, you know that Keefe D wrote a book giving all the details on how he participated in the death of Tupac Shakur. And his interviews, how he was also pretty much telling what happened and bragging about it. Okay? So now that he's been incarcerated and on trial for the murder, he's trying to say, nah, all of those were lies. I wasn't telling the truth. I mean, that's the only defense that he can come up with, okay? Because that's the evidence against him. But I don't think it's going to work. How are you going to prove that you're lying? But who knows, right? So the judge said that no, the book and the interviews will count as evidence against him. So that is not good for him. The judge ruled from the bench that Davis' book, which prosecutors describe as central to their case, will be allowed at the trial. Had Mr. Davis never opened his mouth, never written the book, he would probably not have been prosecuted for the crime, a prosecutor said. Everything in there is admissible because he chose to release it to the public and profit off it. The judge said there was really no question about the book's admissibility. Mr. Davis got the manuscript and made no edits. The judge said, I find there is no legal argument to exclude the book. So the defense attorney, Michael Sant, argued that statements Davis made to police in 2008 and 2009 were involuntary. People were telling my client, this isn't a big deal. We are just getting information, Sam said. We believe the statements made at the time are involuntary. Sam said Davis was placed in a position where he feared for himself and his family. They got Mr. Davis in a position that he was afraid for himself and his family, he said. We have an individual who gave an involuntary confession. That's why we are asking the court to suppress the 2008 and 2009 interviews and the book. The judge partially sided with the defense on that motion and said so. I'm not necessarily saying it's admissible. I'm saying it's not involuntary at this time. I don't think that involuntary stuff is going to hold water. Because even so, I mean, he could have been fearful, like he said, when he made the statement, because they pretty much told him, if you don't tell us what we need to know, you're going to prison for what we do know about you. So he told them what they wanted to hear. But He should have never wrote that book. He should have never wrote that book. And I think the book is probably more damaging than that interview. So partial sequestration approved. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. So the judge denied full sequestration of the jury, approving only partial sequestration. Under full sequestration, please stop saying that. Under full sequestration, jurors would have had their phones taken and been housed in hotels for the duration of the trial. Instead, the court said it will take steps to shield jurors from media coverage of the case. Maybe accommodating jurors through the back elevators so they are not in the hallways, Sant said, of the measures being considered. The judge said that she expects a large jury pool due to the publicity surrounding this case, and details on shielding jurors from media coverage are still being worked out. How they gonna shield them? They probably already know. They done probably already seen. Gang language. So the judge also granted the state's request to use gang affiliation language at the trial. Shakur was shot and killed in his car near Las Vegas Strip in '96. Davis was given immunity in connection with statements he made to police in 2008. Prosecutors said media interviews and his 2019 book later revealed additional details about what he knew regarding the murder. Davis was arrested at his Henderson home in 2023. Since his arrest, Davis has been involved in a jailhouse fight and has gone through 3 attorneys leading up to trial. Defense attorney Sant said he remains confident heading into the case. I believe in the cause, Sam said, with regards to the preparation of the case. We are very confident in the case. So a final status hearing is set for, that's probably already passed, July 14th. But the trial remains scheduled for August the 10th. So, and of course, you have to say that you're confident. But that don't mean they really are. So that's let's see. And I have another update. And I'm not sure what is true and what is not true. But the BBC, they're saying that Tupac's family is filing a wrongful death lawsuit in LA. The family of late rapper Tupac Shakur has filed a wrongful death lawsuit in Los Angeles, seeking unspecified damages tied to the artist's murder in '96. The suit names former gang leader Dwayne Keefe Davis, who is currently awaiting trial for his alleged role in the shooting, as the main defendant alongside additional unnamed co-conspirators. Davis is the only person ever charged in connection with Tupac's death after years of investigations. He has pleaded not guilty. So the new lawsuit, reported by several U.S. media outlets, alleges there was a complex conspiracy to murder Tupac and says its aim is to uncover the identity of the individuals who were involved through discovery. Shakur was one of the most prominent rappers of the early 90s, selling more than 75 million records, including hit singles Hit 'Em Up and California Love. He also had a burgeoning acting career with roles in Juice, Above the Rim, and Poetic Justice. But his career came to an abrupt halt when he was shot 4 times in a drive-by attack in Las Vegas in September 1996. He died in the hospital 6 days later at the age of 25. Mr. Davis was charged with murder in September 23. Police alleged he planned the shooting with his nephew following an altercation with Shakur in a casino. In court, prosecutor Mark DiGiacomo described Mr. Davis, a former leader of the Southside Compton Crip street gang, as the on-ground, on-site commander who ordered the death of Shakur. Police said that Mr. Davis got the gun from an unnamed associate and mentioned Mr. Davis's own admissions to media outlets that he was in the vehicle from which the shots were fired. They did not state who fired the weapon. The 3 men who were in the car with Mr. Davis at the time of the shooting, including his nephew, have all since died. Mr. Davis has pleaded not guilty to the charges. After several delays, his trial is due to commence in August. Keefe nephew, the one they're referring to, his name is Orlando Anderson. And he is also a Compton Crip. So the truth remains elusive. The wrongful death case, which is separate to that trial, was filed on Tuesday by Tupac's brother, Maurice Shakur, acting as the administrator of the estate for his late father, and Tupac's stepfather, Matula Shakur. Okay. I didn't know him by that name of Maurice Shakur. His name, he was a rapper, so he's better known as Mopreme. But they don't have the same his father was either married or dating Tupac's mother. So they don't have a biological connection. And Matula Shakur is not his father. He's his stepdad. That's my dog. Tupac's biological father, his name is, gosh, am I going to be, I'll get to it. Let me keep reading. My brain, I know who his father is. It's just that my brain I just can't remember things sometimes. Nearly 30 years after Tupac's death in 2023, the first and only arrest was made. The documents state related grand jury transcripts and a subsequent Netflix documentary have since revealed the existence of a broader, more complex conspiracy to murder Tupac that involved much more than mere retaliation for a prior altercation. The documents express hope that new evidence will finally allow the family to identify and name the individuals who may have participated in planning, financing, directing, or carrying out the conspiracy to murder Tupac. These new sources of information include grand jury transcripts from Davis' criminal proceedings and interviews from the Netflix documentary. Sean Combs' The Reckoning, according to the complaint. So the documentary released last November included tapes of a police interview in which Mr. Davis claims that Combs offered him $1 million to murder Shakur. And then they're leaving out Suge Knight. Combs has repeatedly denied involvement in the rapper's shooting and called the Netflix documentary a shameful hit piece. The BBC has contacted Combs' lawyers and Mr. Davis's representatives for a response to the new lawsuit. Excuse me. What is Tupac Shakur's biological father's name? I know his name. I do not know why I'm just going blank at the moment. And that is troubling me. So guess what? I gotta look his name up because it's on the tip of my tongue. Tupac's Billy Garland. That's Tupac's biological father, Billy Garland. Okay. And I don't think Afeni had a good relationship with Billy Garland, especially after I guess he was already married. So he pretty much had an affair with Afeni. And then she ended up pregnant. And somehow I think he distanced himself from her. And I guess when she realized he was married, she decided she wasn't going to name her child after him. So, I mean, that's what it sounds like happened. But only they really know. So the judge is going to allow the use of police interview in the Tupac Shakur murder trial. So, that is going to hurt him really bad. He don't have a, I don't think he stands a chance. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Do you think Keefe D is cooked or that he has a good argument? Do you think they're going to subpoena Suge Knight? I would be really surprised if they didn't, because he's the only other living witness that looked in the eyes of the murderer. But yet, he's determined not to say anything. Now, I did hear somewhere that Suge Knight, I don't know if this is how legit this is, but I did read somewhere that Suge Knight had finally did an interview from prison naming who was involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur. And he named somebody that was within death row. And that person is Reggie Wright, who was the head of security at death row. And the word is that Tupac fired Reggie Wright. And Reggie Wright was humiliated by that and had him killed. I mean, I don't know exactly why Reggie Wright would murder somebody. I mean, a lot of people are fired. Just move on. There had to be some other type of jealousy toward him if he was involved. Everything is alleged. We don't know if it was Reggie Wright. We don't know if it was Suge Knight. And we don't know if it was Orlando, Keefe D, or Sean Combs. So hopefully this trial will answer and prove the answer to those questions. So that's all I have for right now. I just wanted to give you a preview so far that the video and the book will be allowed to be used as evidence. And that's major. I think without that, it will be hard for the prosecution to prove their case. But now that they do have that to use as evidence, that's devastating to the defense. Devastating. Like they don't have, what are they going to say then? How are they going to prove that Keefe D was lying? He's trying to prove that he was lying. So anyway, the trial is August 10th. So as I get updates, I will post them. So hit that notification, subscribe. It's free of charge. It's easy. All you do is just click the button and you're done. Subscribe, share, and like, and put comments in the comment section. Okay? All right. And bye for now. And remember this last thing, even though I am trying to cover this trial, because this is a very important trial that's going on. Don't get it twisted. I'm not pushing my Christianity to the side. Because at the end of the day, we need to pray. We need to pray about this trial. We need to pray for justice. And the family may get justice and they may not get justice. But one thing for sure, nobody is getting away with anything. And God knows exactly what happened that night and who was involved. And nobody is getting away with it. Okay? Because God is a just God. One day they're going to have to meet their maker and be judged. Each one of us. So I'm not rejoicing with the fact that someone may potentially do life in prison. Because at the end of the day, the Lord cares about people's soul being saved. And when we get in our flesh, we just want revenge. Yeah, Lord, throw the book at him. But we have to remember, each person is a sinner saved by grace. Jesus came here and died for our sins. And that includes Diddy's, Keefe D, and everybody else. And I know that is a hard pill for us to swallow, but that's because we're not God. So we have to surrender our will and have a not my will but yours be done attitude. And trust me, God's will be done. And we have to accept that and know that God is in full control. He knows exactly what happened. He knows the ending. He knows the beginning and everything in between. So if anything, you want to pray for these people, everybody that's involved, pray for the family, the victims, and the perpetrators. Pray for the judge, the prosecution, the defense. Pray that, because we want to pray for something good to happen with this case, for justice, for it to be fair. Okay? All right. So God bless you and stay tuned for more videos. And I thank you for watching.